Recording moved from tape, mixing didn't. Because tape was never just a format, it controlled tone, dynamics, and harmonic structure in one move. The same move people now try to recreate with 5 separate plugins. To use it well, you only need to understand what it actually changes. EQ changes how loud frequencies are. With tape, as level rises, the highs compress slightly before the lows, so edges settle instead of jumping forward. That's why harsh sources calm down without sounding dull. You're not removing the brightness, you're changing how it reacts to level. If you had to fake this digitally, you'd need multi-band compression, harmonic control, and transient shaping. Tape does it as one continuous behavior. Compression grabs peaks. Transient tools reshape them artificially. Tape redistributes the front edge of a sound over a few microseconds before it becomes a spike. The intent stays intact, but the hit stops feeling detached from the track. Drums sit in the record instead of sitting on top of it. It alters the signal before you need to fix it. You keep the punch, you lose the poke. Most nonlinear processors generate harmonics faster than the spectrum can support them. That's when excitement turns into grain. Tape limits how fast upper harmonics build. Energy grows, but it grows in order, so you can drive it harder without the top end collapsing. This is about controlled harmonic structure. When you push many saturators, the entire waveform bends together. That makes bass feel louder, but also less defined. It spreads instead of anchoring. Tape doesn't scale evenly across the spectrum. The mids and the highs compress first. The fundamental stays more stable. So instead of inflating the low end, you reduce the clutter around it. The bass feels clearer, more grounded, and easier to place without boosting it or compressing it separately. That's why tape can tighten a bottom end without sounding processed. This is also why tape is great to establish glue. Its changes don't happen in isolation. As level rises, transients soften, harmonics build, and the spectral balance shifts together. When the performance relaxes, they relax together. There's no point where a processor kicks in. The relationships stay proportional. That's why elements feel connected, not layered with separate fixes. Limiters, clippers, and de-essers struggle with signals that are too fast and too jagged. Tape reduces those extreme micropeaks before they reach those processors. Now the limiter controls level instead of fighting spikes. Now the de-esser trims instead of clamping. You didn't fix the symptom, you prevented it upstream. That's why one stage of tape replaces several corrective stages later. Look at what this just did. It reshaped spectral balance as level rose. It controlled transients. It regulated harmonic growth. It stabilized low end, and it made limiting easier. That's 5 mixed decisions from one stage. If something depends on razor attack, very open end, or is already dark, skip it. Tape is not a default, it's a placement decision. Its strength is consolidation. Use it where it replaces steps, not where it adds one. These behaviors came from physical limits of level bandwidth and magnetic transfer. We're not recreating the machine, we're using the response. Tape stayed because it lets you solve several mix decisions in one single move. Today, it isn't just a format, it's leverage. Amp version, the New York mix architect. Protect your craft, protect the culture, and keep the New York sound alive.